Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with another What Sold This Week video for you. It's been picking up. Things have been getting a little bit better. As usual, I'm going to start off talking about what I sold during my Whatnot show this week. But my Etsy and eBay have picked up a little bit too. And actually, even today, I made a sale on Poshmark. Imagine that. And an eBay sale. So we'll get into those in a minute, though. I'm going to start off with my Whatnot as I normally do. So I had a really good show today. I was very stoked. I sold a total of 35 items for $616 before fees. After fees, I should make $534. So I'm very happy and relieved because Mama has bills to pay. I have a total of 13 shipments going out, and 4 of those shipments are going to first-time buyers for me. So that was really fun. So let's get into it and see what I sold. I actually started recording this once and I hated every single second of it. So I unwrapped the items and I started over because that's how much I don't want to learn how to edit videos. Okay. So first up is this cute little top. This sold for $15 to a new to me buyer. I started the bidding at $15. That's what it sold for. This is a really cute little top that I got from that estate sale I went to where it was like the pre-sale. I keep talking about it in every fucking video, right? So that was primarily plus size stuff. I'm glad that this sold because I was really starting to feel like this had been in a bunch of shows, too many shows. And I was feeling like it was stale and I needed to take it out. So I'm very relieved that it sold. That was nice. So let's see. Yes, $15 new to me buyer. So let's get this put into a little bag. And here, once again, even though I restarted this video, do you think that I went and got myself a bag to throw all of this stuff in? No, I did not. No, I did not. Should I stop this video and start all over again so that I can go get a bag? Yeah, but I'm not doing that either. Okay. Hold, please. I'm just going to grab it. Look, I keep trying to make myself all like polished and like fancy YouTuber. It's just, maybe I'm getting there. I don't know, but it's me. Okay. Sorry. But I am me. All right. Second up, also a new to me buyer purchased this really amazing duster style jacket thing. This has been in maybe 3 or 4 shows. I think it's so cool. I love the print on it, but mostly look at that hem. It's just wild. It's so much fun. This was started at $15 and it sold for $15, which I'm sure you knew that that's what it would be. Rizzo's on my table here also, so I got to fold around this cat. It was such an exciting show today. I was very happy. There's one piece that sold for a surprising amount, which we will get to. And I am super excited and grateful and all of those things. I hope that you love it, the person who bought it. I think it's so cool. Let's see. Sorry, business. Sometimes it's hard for me to understand when things sell for a lot because I am so fucking cheap anymore. But I mean, also like it makes sense to me that I'm so cheap. And I do spend some money on things on occasion. I actually bought a t-shirt off of Depop and I spent, I think $55, which was crazy. But I was very excited about it. Do you want to see it? I know you want to see it. Since we're already stepping off camera all over the place, I might as well grab it and show it to you. I tried it on, so it's inside out. So hold on, let me fix it. Yeah, I forget what this was priced at, but I think I spent, including shipping and everything. Actually, maybe it was, I don't know. It was around $55, $60 maybe, something like that. This is very cute. Look at that. Now this is not, the t-shirt is a vintage shirt, but it was not originally printed with gunny sacks. I had seen some vintage seller had gone and actually made a screen print of the gunny sacks tag and put it on a bunch of t-shirts. I never bought one of those. I don't remember how much that seller was asking at the time, but it was definitely more than I was willing to spend. So I saw this on Depop. And I don't know if they got it from that same seller or not, but it's really cute. I was so excited about it. It's a cute little t-shirt. Here is the tag in case you care. So to me, spending like $55 or $60 or whatever was like, insane. But I don't buy that much stuff new for myself. I usually rely on like finding things through sourcing, and then I just keep random things here and there. But that one I was really excited about, and I've been really into, you know, vintage t-shirts that are fitted and cotton, and so I was happy. And so like I do kind of get spending money on stuff, but also I don't, but I do, you know. Anyway. All right, so next up is, let's see, is a repeat buyer who purchased one item from me. It was this bag. So this is a vintage Cecil like market kind of tote bag. I had picked this up, as you might know already from the haul video, but it reminded me of a bag that I had myself in the 90s that I don't remember why I got rid of it. I mean, I guess you just do that sometimes, right? You think like, I don't use this anymore, but now I'm nostalgic for it and I want it back. And I can't find one that fits like exactly the vibe that I want. I had picked this one up and I thought that, I mean, I would have picked it up anyway because these sell well, I think. But I was like, oh, cool, I can use it. And then it's just like not doing what I wanted it to do. But anyway, this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. So very excited about that. All right, next up, let's see, is a repeat buyer for me who purchased two items. So first up is this adorable little vest, which I just got in my most recent haul video. And I think this is so freaking cute. And during the Whatnot show, I realized that this would match really well with another pair. I have a pair of corduroy pants in the show that were this same color blue. And so I got all excited because I was like, oh my gosh, if these don't sell, like I'll style them together to list them on Etsy. But then of course the vest sold. And you know, I can't be mad at that because I need money. But I was really excited to style the two pieces together, which I don't get to do. Anyway, that vest sold for $15, which is what the bidding started at. And then the second item that the buyer purchased were these adorable little 90s shorts that I wish fit me, but they do not. But these are so cute. Where's our tag? There we go. Paris Blues. And these also sold for $15, which is also what I started the bidding at. Okay, let's get these folded. All righty. Those two. That vest is so freaking cute. I don't know if this is going to fit in this bag. I mean, it will. I folded it a little bit too wide to fit nicely in the bag. Sorry. That's right. Here we go. Okay. Next up, let's see what's next. Next is a repeat buyer for me who purchased one item. And all my stuff seems to be out of order today. I don't know why. All right, here we go. This shirt, this does not look like much on the hanger. This was so adorable on. It's very fitted. It's like a cropped top that's super fitted in here. And then it's like a milkmaid style. So it's a very low cut neckline and it ties at the bust. So it's almost like you have this very fitted piece and then you're like drawing the fabric in around your boobages. And then it's got puff sleeves. Very, very cute on. And here's the tag for that. I don't know if I ever showed this in a haul video. I got this from my little local thrift guy and it was literally the only thing I bought that day. So I don't think I ever put it into a haul video. But that sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. And that was fun. And it was sold to just another big vintage seller that, you know, I respect as a vintage seller. Although they bought something for me another like 1 or 2 shows ago. And the name that the package gets sent to is the name of their business. And it's distressing to me because I can't remember. It's like there's 2 people in the business and I can't remember their human people names. So I only have their vintage selling name. And I really wish I knew what their human names were. I am really bad with that kind of stuff. When I first started selling on Whatnot, I literally had a list written down at my desk of like people who had bought from me or were in my shows a lot. And like once I learned what their human name was, I would write it down so that way I could like, you know, call them by name. And now Whatnot frowns upon you like using people's human names. they want you to use their usernames. I guess some people had a problem with it, but whatever. At the time, it was like, oh, hey, Mary, hey, Joe, hey, and I don't remember their human name. And I can't. So when I send the little thank you card, I'm like, thanks, business name. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. And I feel like a jerk. But anyway, okay. Next up is a new to me buyer. That's not what I did. I mean, it is what I did. Who purchased this Laura Ashley skirt. It's really pretty. This is a new old stock, probably like 90s era. This originally retailed for $85. Can you see that down there? Crazy town. Crazy town. But today it sold for $15, which, can you guess? Yes. Are we sick of that joke yet? Can you guess? Yeah, I started it at 15. It sold for 15. I'll try to stop doing that. It's going to be difficult because I'm probably a little bit of a cornball, I guess. But I will try. All right, let's see. Get this packed away. All right. Next up is another new to me buyer who purchased 5 items. So thank you so much. I appreciate your faith in me. And first up is, I put it over here for safekeeping. They purchased these 3 little beaded rings from me. I got these when I went up to the, these rings. Aren't they cute? I went up to that vintage seller who was liquidating her inventory, and these were part of my purchase from her. So this little trio of rings I sold for $10. And I'm sticking them in this Ziploc just so they don't get all like lost in the sauce, We've got that. Next up is this little 90s floral rayon dress, city triangles. So freaking cute. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. I don't know if I told you that I sold the rings for 10. I think I told you. But all right, I got to button this because this is sloppy looking. This is a cute little dress. And this is another piece it's been sitting around in a bunch of shows. So I'm glad that it sold. I'm trying to like mix up the end of the shows a little bit so that it's not just the same old stuff way at the end all the time. I didn't do a fantastic job today. I did a little bit. I got a few things swapped out, but not a whole bunch. And because I sold 35 items today, that means that for next week's show, I'm kind of stuck. It's kind of like I have to, I add 30 new items, but I sold 35. And so even if I add 30 new, that means I kind of can't get rid of anything. I don't have that much to swap out with. So we're going to have to see how it goes. Anyway, next up for this buyer was, this is so weird. Okay, here we go. Is this cute little dress, another little 90s? Yeah, a 90s rayon dress. Adorable. I love the print. Little short, cute, flirty skirt. Joni Blair. And this also sold for $15. So that was great. Yeah, so I don't know. I was very fortunate with my thrift haul yesterday, and I do have things left over from that I'll be able to start next week's show with. But I feel like I really need to amp it up. I do have some things that I've been working on, which I think I told you. I've been working to like repair some stuff and go through some of the older things that I've never listed because they needed work. And I'm trying to do that. And so, but that's very slow going. It's not like I'll be able to get like 15 of those things done in a week, All right, let's see. Next up, oh, she loves these little dresses. Another 90s rayon. This is the little Contempo Casuals. Same kind of silhouette. Very cute. She mentioned during the show too, she's like, I love the 90s rayon, but I didn't, I don't always put together like exactly who gets what. So it wasn't hitting me that these were all her, but it's so cute. I love it. Sorry, Rizzo. I do not want to anger the feline. Okay, it's okay. All right. Don't bite me, please. I don't want to anger the princess. Remember last week I had to like fucking stop the video because she was trying to bite me constantly. All right. And then the final item that this buyer purchased is an 80s dress, which honestly is very similar to the little 90s rayon, but very cute. And this is the brand Ginori with the tag dangling all off there. Riz Biz. You're not going to let me fold this, are you, ma'am? I don't want to have to stop to deal with you again in the middle of this video if I can avoid it. Can we all just keep things chill? Probably not. Because like even right now, hold on. Let's see. Move those here. Give myself a little bit more space, but I think I'm still going to end up. She's just laying on the table, and like when I fold stuff, it lands on top of her, and she don't like it. Hi, Riz. You're okay. No one's doing bad things to you. All right? Hi. You know, they talk about fight or flight, and then there's fawn and freeze. I definitely have some fawning going on when it comes to Riz. She got up and went away. Not that I want her to go away. I just don't want to piss her off and get swatted. All right, let's see. Will it fit in this bag? I think so. Let's see what we can do here. I hope it's okay. I just realized that the one dress, that little 80s floral dress with the tag that's dangling off, this Ginori, it has zips at the cups of the sleeve, which is really cool. I forgot to mention it. Not that I think that it's, I don't know. I think it's cool, but like, I don't know. I just feel weird that I forgot to mention it. Hopefully it's okay. All right. Anyway, and that sold for $15 also, in case you did not know. So that's all of those. All right. Next up, oh, hi, Biz, is a repeat buyer that's purchased one item. All right, let's see. And this, oh, right, was a belt. Very cool. There's the buckle, leather belt. Very awesome. And this sold for $15. So that's what I started the bidding at. Let's see. All right, here we go. Rizzo, why are you back already? And now she's in the middle of the table. Okay, Riz, I'm going to need you to like vamoose though, because I have the big order is the next one. Oh, see, she's mad today. Oh, I'm getting bitten. I'm getting bitten. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is still trying to load anyway. Good job, whatnot. Let's get it together, my friend. Doesn't want to load my next page for me. Am I going to have to skip over the massive order because it won't load? I don't know. Okay, let's try this. Whatnot's frozen. Remember when I said I don't want to have to edit things? Oh, there we go. I might have to edit. All right, so we're going to try and do this, but someone is agitated. All right, so this is a repeat buyer for me, also a channel friend. Hi. And you know I don't like calling people out, so I'm not going to like name you, but thank you so much for everything today. This was amazing. All right, so let's see. First up is, oh my goodness, is this brown turtleneck, which is just like a t-shirty style turtleneck. It's really cute. Let's see. Here's the tag. And this sold for, I'm going to assume $15. $10. 10? Okay. I listed it for 10, which I am surprised about. But considering who the buyer was and how many items they bought today, I'm glad I listed it for 10. You deserve a little bit of a break. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can go back to this other page and get it to load, because this thing is taking forever. We'll get this folded up. All right. This, look, also I apologize because I feel like there's going to be a little bit of Rizzo hair on here. I'm trying not to let there be, but she's not having any of anything today. She was pretty good during the show, though, so I can't complain too much, I guess. But all right, so that's folded up. Let's see. Will you cooperate now? Yay. Okay. Thank goodness. All right. The second item that this buyer purchased was this, which is such a fun shirt. This is a 90s Forenza. It's marked size large. They were always very oversized. And it's just really fun, boxy, like slightly cropped. It's not cropped on me because it's a size large, but it's slightly cropped. And it's just really fun. I actually have another one very similar to this in my Etsy right now, which I think I listed for either $39 or $49. I used to kind of have $39 as a very standard, price for a lot of stuff. But because everything has been getting more expensive, I've slowly been like, mostly because of shipping charges getting more expensive, I've been bumping stuff up to $49 instead of $39 because shipping's more expensive. And also so many more people negotiate pricing anymore or wait for a discount or something. Like it's not as common for things to just sell at full price anymore. So, I'm going to work all that into the pricing, which is annoying, but that's business. All right. Next up is this shirt, which I think is so much fun. This is terry cloth. It's like a cotton blend. I love the color blocking of it. The tag is cute too. I mean, it's a normal tag, but it's cute. So, and this sold also for $15. So yay. All right, let's see. Oh, now Rizzo's being super cute, but it's the kind of cute where like she looks very appealing, but then if you try to pet her, bear trap, Let's see. Let me get this folded up. Fold, 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 fold. Okay. Next up is same buyer. Sorry, which item was this? No. Oh, this one. This is a two-piece set. It has this slip that went underneath with the ruffle on the bottom. And then over the top is this sheer dress. It looks really pretty together. The ruffle comes right beneath the hem of this. It's lovely, but I also really like the sheer dress on its own over, maybe just like a bra and panties or like a different color slip or something. It's really pretty. I love the sheerness of this. Trying not to disturb the bear trap. And this sold for $15 as well. This one is a piece that I had to, I had it at some point. I don't remember where I got it. I may have just thrifted it, but then I realized that the elastic at the cuffs was shot. And so then the sleeves are long because when the elastic sits properly, it kind of balloons nicely. But because the elastic was shot, it was like down here, ridiculous. So I had to replace the elastic, which was not super fun. And then I replaced it and I didn't make it tight enough. So it was like pointless. So then I had to redo it. So that was annoying, but I got it all done. Biz. Okay. Get this folded up. I'm sorry. This is folded weird because Rizzo's in the way and she will hurt me. She will murder me. So I'm sorry. I should have rotated the cats before I started recording this. I thought about it, but I was like, give myself a little more time with Rizbiz. But okay. And then let me fold up the slip. I know, you're very cute. You're so cute, Rizbiz. All right, there's that. Next up is, same buyer still, a little floral romper. So cute. This little one. And it's like navy and white. It has some color bleed. I don't really feel like it impacts it too terribly. Like if I were just keeping this, like I wouldn't care about that personally. But, you know, different people are different. I mean, I'm like, you know, I don't know, whatever this all is. If it wasn't selling, I was going to maybe try to get the color bleed out with a Synthropol soak. But I don't know if it'll work or not. Oh, you know what's dumb is I have that Betsy Johnson dress that has some color bleed that I'm afraid to try in Synthropol soak. Again, it's also not super terrible. I should have experimented on this first because I would have cared less if this did not come out well, but I'm glad it sold still. But that would have been a smart idea. So anyway, maybe you're experimenting on it. I don't know. This sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. Okay, next, same buyer. Another little skirt, Y2K era, very cute. This is new old stock. I think I need to like hustle up this this video because I still have to like print all the shipping labels, and I actually have something that I have to package in bubble wrap. So anyway, this skirt sold for $15. That's what I started the bidding at. So cute. Riz, can you please not? She just jumped on me. Okay, next up, same buyer. Purchased this Christmas sweatshirt, which I had listed for $10. I got this because it was so like cheesy and corny. And I know that people love these things. And so I started it at 10 because I think I paid like $1 or 50 or something like that for it. And, you know, Rizzo, I really need you to stop, Miss Ma'am. I might have to stop and, okay, it's all right. Hey. All right, I'm going to deal with Rizzo and we will resume in a moment. Okay, I'm safe now. All right, so next up on this buyer, same buyer, purchased a total of 12 items, is, let's see, this floral blouse. This is a really cute one. I love the ruffle on this. Pretty silk blouse. This is the print. This sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. So that's nice. It's all nice and sunny out. It was so dark outside this morning, so I started off with the lights on. The lights do give a better video quality overall, I admit that. It's just it gets so hot. But the weather is cooler today. I had the AC running during the show, but I turned it off during my post-show break. And it's not too bad yet. I'm sure I'm going to wish in a moment that I had turned it back on, but we've already refilmed and paused this video too many times, so I'm just going to go with it. All right, let's see. So folding this up. Okay, there we go. That ruffle does not want to stay folded with everyone, but that's okay. That's not either. All right, next in this same order is this really cute little 90s mock neck top. Adorable. This sold for $15, which is what we had the bidding starting at. All right. Okay. What is that? Sorry, I've got a little string hanging off here. Let's snippity snip that. Okay. This folded up. It's slightly crooked, but okay. Next is same buyer. This little duofold thermal top. This is actually one, it had a stain when I got it. I started soaking it. The stain did a pretty good job of coming out, but it's not fully gone. I wasn't done soaking it. All I did was I hit it with the Grandma's Secret Spot Remover, and then I soaked it in just like a little water with some Tide. And so I don't know if it would come out fully just being washed. I didn't want to soak it in Oxy because it's wool, and I don't know that wool and Oxy do well together. I think that OxyClean is not great on like animal fight, like silk, wool, that kind of stuff. So I wasn't really sure where I was going to go next. I might have just done another round of soaking and regular stuff. Anyway, this sold for $15. The buyer, who is a YouTube watcher as well, mentioned on YouTube, like, hey, even with the stain, I would buy that thing. So I was like, okay, I'll put it up. And I'm glad I at least got some of it out. So that's cool. Next item that the buyer purchased was this adorable little sweater. And there's the tag. You can see it's hand knit. So cute. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. And let me get it folded up. It's really cute. I don't know why. I always like picking these things up. These like very 80s. It's kind of like boxy with sort of a short dolman sleeve. And I feel like I pick them up more than I sell them. But I like them. They're cute. All right. And then the final item that this buyer purchased was the creme de la creme, not only of, in my opinion, everything that she purchased, also of my show, also possibly of my whatnot selling career. I think this might have gotten bid up higher than anything else previously ever has, but I don't know for certain, but it did really well. I was very surprised and I love it. This little cachet sweater, this is the cutest sweater. I do love it. I love all vintage cachet. It's amazing. Here's the tag. You can see it's marked size medium. I feel like this looks a little smaller than a medium. It does stretch well. This is a lamb's wool and Angora blend with like a touch of nylon. I started the bidding on this at $15 and it was getting a lot of bidding action. And as the bidding action was going higher, I was very surprised. At a certain point, I'm like, oh, cool. It's going like the 27 and then like 33 and, you know, like, cool. Then it got to a point it was like 51 and I was like, oh my God, it sold for $121, which, thank you, is amazing. I appreciate it. My utility company will appreciate it. Like, it's very appreciated and very exciting. And it's just super fun. So I'm so grateful for that. And now let me just make sure that I've got all of her pieces because I saved that one for last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, cool. So that's everything that she purchased. Let me get it wrapped up in a proper bag. Let me see. I moved it out of the zone of Rizzo. Okay, so we're going to get one of these guys. Let's see. I don't know if these will all fit in this bag. We're going to see. We're going to do our best. Why is this? Oh, I got a stupid phone call and it interrupted my video. Very annoying. That's okay. I probably should not have restarted the video until after I packaged this up, but here we go. I am definitely going to need more than one bag for this. That's okay. I think I can get it all in one box. It's just going to be too squished in one bag. It'll be obnoxious. So let's do that. Let's just accept that it's going in 2 bags. And I'm not going to throw these into the big bag because I'm very nervous that I will forget that they go together. So keep those separated out. You gotta keep them separated. All right. What time is it? 2:53. I'm still okay. Post office closes at 4. It's like a very short walk. The stupid spam call that I'm getting that interrupted my video is from like a Wi-Fi telemarketer call. No, stop it. So rude. You're going to miss out on 50%. Shut up. Missing out on Jack. All right. Next buyer. Let's collapse that down. All right. Next buyer is a repeat buyer who purchased 3 items from me. So first up is this little cutie. How adorable are we? Look at that little 60s chiffon. There's the tag that I can't straighten out. So cute. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. Actually, I'm wondering, I kind of feel like the only thing that got bid up was that one sweater, which granted, if you're only going to have one item get bid up during a show, that's the way to do it. And I'm not complaining. And honestly, if nothing got bid up, I wouldn't be complaining. So, but that was fun. All right. Second item that this buyer purchased was one of these little Y2K tops that I got yesterday. I was so excited for these Y2K pieces. It was really fun. There's that. And this sold for $15 as well. Let's see. Get this all folded up. Boop, boop. Okay. And then the third item that this buyer purchased was this cute little red, black, and white zigzag dress. Also sold for $15. This has no tags, but based on construction and stuff, it seems very 70s to me. So adorable. So between this week and last week, I feel like my local thrift has had really good stuff. Yesterday was really, really good. I only ever go to that thrift for the most part once a week. And I go once a week because that's the day that I get the best discounts. And I feel like maybe there's like fewer people there. It's their senior citizen day. And I qualify as a senior citizen for them. But also I am a member, I'm like I pay a membership fee and I get like extended discounts for that. So that also is the day where I get the best discounts through the membership. But like yesterday, almost everything I got was, at least half of what I got wasn't even on sale. So part of me wonders if maybe I should try and go tomorrow. They have a really good sale on Fridays as well, but they call it their happy hour sale. And so basically from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m., there's like 50% off of 4 color tags, which is what it is on Wednesdays when I go. But I feel like it is important to get there first thing in the morning. So that kind of means that I have to get there early, like 10 a.m. and then like hang out until 4, which would suck. Or just like get there like 2 and wait until 4 to pay, which would be easy, but I might miss a lot of the new racks coming out. Or get there at 10, buy stuff, and then just like forego the chance of a discount. I don't know. Anyway, okay, let's see. Next up is sugar cookie. All right, there we go. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 1 item from me. And this is another one that I'm very glad that it sold because I was feeling like it was pretty stale. So it's this 2-piece set, right? 78. Yes. And so it's this dress, which has this like pink floral design on the bottom, right? And the dress is fine. To me, it's the second piece that's like the star of the show. Oh, here's the tag in the dress. I don't know if the blouse has one. Oh, it doesn't want to show you because it's blowing out. But it also came from the estate of all the plus size stuff where I went to like the pre-sale estate sale. So it came from there. So that's the dress, which I'll fold up and then I'll show you the second piece, which to me is like the whole reason to buy the thing. But that's just me. I realize that we don't all have the same taste. I mean, maybe the buyer agrees with me. I have no idea, but let's see. All right, so there's the dress. And then the second piece is this like, I don't know, blouse, tunic, duster or something. But look at this thing. I think this is amazing. And like when you put the dress underneath it, you lose the fact that this is sheer. So I would totally want to wear this over something in a sage green or like a pink or something so that you could tell that this is all sheer. It's just so good. I feel like there's so much potential with this. Anyway, so this 2-piece set she purchased for $15, which that's what I started the bidding at, but you knew that. Okay, let me see if I can get this folded up. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have buttons done up. Let's see. I haven't looked to see if there's any good estate sales yet this weekend. That's another thing I should consider. So, you know, because I've been trying to like get ahead of the game for my whatnot shows, but also now that I feel like things are getting so stale, I feel like I also need to just have more new inventory at least once. You know what I mean? Like just have like one show where I've got a whole bunch of fresh stuff. And I do have the sweater show coming up in September, and I think that's going to help a lot because that'll be almost an entire show of fresh inventory. But I feel like that's a long time to wait in between of having stuff where I feel like I have stale stuff. Anyway, so I've been trying to just think of like ways to get more inventory at once. And so there's a vintage warehouse in Philadelphia that I've been considering going to. They're by appointment, which is fine. And they have, I think, a minimum of $100 spend, but that's fine for me as well. And then you basically like dig through bins of stuff, but I don't know exactly what their pricing is. Basically, I don't know if the pricing is low enough that I could use it to sell on whatnot in the model that I'm currently doing. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like I gotta change something up here a little bit. Okay. Next up, I'm going to do this one because it's just the one item. And this is a repeat buyer for me. And they purchased this blouse, which I think is phenomenal. Look at that thing, man. It's so cool. This is silk. And it's just really cool. And I love how like each cuff is a different color. And then they have those like little French cuff kind of button things going on. It's such a cool top. And this sold for $20. I started it higher because I think I paid $7 or $8 for that. So I started the bidding a little bit higher just because I wanted to make sure it was worthwhile for me. I mean, I think that the blouse is worth $20 anyway because it's amazing. But all right, let's see. Let's get this buttoned up. And then we'll get it folded up and we'll have good times. So we have to look and see. Maybe there's an epic estate sale for me. Otherwise, little fuzz. I just don't want to make a trip to Philly. Philly's like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Although I did meet somebody at my thrift yesterday. Another reseller came up and was chatting with me. And he mentioned something about an auction house in New Jersey. I am not familiar with it. So I'm going to have to look it up and see if there is one. But he mentioned going there once and having some sort of, he purchased a bunch of vintage in bulk that he regrets. But he's not a vintage specific seller. So, all right, let's see. And then the final package that I have to wrap up is another repeat buyer for me who purchased 5 items. First up is this Olga nightgown, which I got yesterday. It's really cool. It has a couple of flaws. I mean, they're pretty minor. The worst one is that there's this tear on the side here. So I just closed all of that. I listed it for $10. I forget what I paid for it. Like $10 is not a great return on it. It wasn't like I paid $1 or $2, I don't think. But I admit that I was hoping that by starting it at 10, it might get bid up a little bit. But even if it didn't, I still think it's a really fun piece. And it is going to a very regular buyer who buys a lot from me. So I'm glad about that too, that like, you know, that I like when my really regular buyers get extra good deals. So that's nice. So there's that. Next up is, what is with the fuzz today? Okay. Let me see. Number 27. This dress, which is really sweet. Just like a rayon dress. And then it's got this like very pretty collar with the lace. And then here's the tag. So that sold for, let's all take a guess, $15. So we all knew. Oh, I'm going to button one more of these buttons just to keep it together. So let's see. Oh, sorry, Rizzo is all over this dress, man. She's not currently actively all over this dress, but she's got little hairs that she's left behind on this table, and I'm under the gun. I'm sorry, I'm under the gun. A little bit. I don't actually know if this person watches my YouTube, which is, you know, I'm surprised anybody watches my YouTube, I'll be honest. I appreciate all of you who do. Next for this buyer was this cute little blouse. It's like mosaic print. There's the tag. This sold for $15. Very cool. Very cool. Get this folded up. And then after I fold all these up, I have to pack up. I got an eBay order and a Poshmark order. The eBay order is a ceramic thing that I need to bubble wrap. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. The next item that this buyer purchased was this cotton dress. I also got this, I believe, at the estate sale where I got all the plus size stuff. I had this sitting around for a long time though, because it was very dirty when I got it. So I had to soak it. So I did soak it and everything came out nice. So that was a relief. And so that sold for $15. And, you know, I just like, sometimes you're not like, you're putting in work that's not necessarily worth the effort, but you know that I look at my whatnot stuff as more of a joint effort. It's not, I don't look at it necessarily as profit on any individual item. I mean, I try to keep that stuff in mind. You know, if I paid $8 for something, I'm not going to auction it at 10, you know? But I generally try to think of things in like an overall context. So, you know, having a show today where I made $530, whatnot is certainly carrying way more than Etsy and eBay combined half the time this month. So I try to look at it like that. So even though I put effort into doing this dress and making it nice, what is happening here? A little spot on this belt. There we go. Okay. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. You're used to it. Okay. Oh, and then the final item that this buyer purchased, because I'm already forgetting that this still goes with this, this piece that I love so much. So this one would have gotten bid up if it hadn't sold early in the show, because I had two people come in afterwards asking about it after it had already sold. So sold for $15, but that's okay. It was a phenomenal show. And that also, again, this went to another very regular buyer. So I am very glad that she got a good deal on it. So that's nice. This sold for $15, which I think I said. This is such a cute, oh, I love this. I just showed it to you in my haul video most recently, but all right, let's see. Let's see. Folding this up. This is the last item that I have to fold up and put all these things into a bag. I also had to do a little quickie repair on this before I started filming this video. One of the, I noticed last night when I was hanging everything that this had a little split in a seam at the shoulder. And thankfully it was like on an existing seam. So it was very easy to like, boop, 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 boop. Exactly like that, sound effects and all. But I had to zip that up real quick. So this isn't too bad. Okay, $308. Worst case scenario, if I cannot get the eBay thing or the Poshmark thing shipped out for today, that's okay, because they sold today, so they don't have to ship until tomorrow. I just like to get things out quickly whenever possible. I feel like people appreciate it. I feel like, especially now, the post office, I feel like they move slower in general, so it's always good to get things out more quickly if you're able to. So, you know. All right, well, that's all for this. I'm going to go print up a bunch of shipping labels and maybe wrap a ceramic elephant ashtray. However, you all are going to blink your eyes, and then I'll be telling you what I sold on Etsy. So hang tight. Y'all are not going to believe it, but I actually made some sales this week. I suppose I better get busy doing some more listing, which I say at 5:30 at night as I'm recording this. And how much listing have I done today? 0. Okay, anyway, let's see what I sold. It was a decent week. All right, so first up, we're starting off with Etsy. I have this vintage Steelers shirt. It's kind of sweatshirty kind of thing. I had it listed for $39, which included shipping, of course. The buyer did not use any kind of coupon or anything, so it sold for $39. I paid $4.61 in shipping, so I made $34.39 on this shirt. Here's the tag if you care. So it's just cute. It's like a thin little, you know, I don't know, this seems very like flash dancey to me, like off the shoulder kind of thing. But anyway, that went out. Yay, that's done. Next on Etsy is this nightgown, which I think is really pretty. This was listed for $59. No coupon was used. Buyer paid $59. It sold. Shipping was $5.02. So I made $53.98 on this. And that's just a little picture of the very pretty bodice. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? And there's the tag, because we love a good tag. All right, next is this very cute little mug. This is a Ranger Joe mug, vintage Hazel Atlas. I couldn't remember. So it's a kid's mug. And I got this from the hoarder house where I got all the glassware, some of which I still have not listed. Hint, hint, Laura. And let's see. It's just cute. This is a very tiny mug. Like, it's bigger than an espresso cup, but definitely smaller. I think it holds like 4 ounces. Anyway, it was cute. I had it listed for $18, which does include the shipping on Etsy. And that's what it sold for. Shipping was $6.04. So I made $11.96 on this. And of course, that's all before packaging supplies and before Etsy fees, but there we are. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to eBay. First up on eBay is this cute little sweatshirt that I originally bought for Whatnot. It's cute. It's got like this little sailboat graphic. It's very 90s. Let's see, do I have a bigger picture of the graphic? There we go. So little sailboats. It's made by Fresh Produce. I feel like I am mushing all of my words together today. There is zero enunciation happening, and I am sorry about that. Anyway, this was listed for $49. The buyer sent me an offer of $35, which I accepted. Buyer pays shipping, so I made $35, which is clearly much better than the $15 I would have made had it sold on Whatnot. Next up on eBay is this very cute little sweatshirty thing. Who is this delightful little kitty, you might ask? That's Joplin, Miss Jopolina, and she used to like to stand up on my little table back here when I would do photos sometimes. Joplin is no longer with us because she was an old lady and she's gone now. But I do love seeing her in a bunch of my old photos. It always cracks me up. So anyway, this sweatshirt, little short sleeve velour, I had it listed for $49. The buyer sent me an offer of $28, which like I felt was low, but also desperation. And also I was not paying the shipping. So I kind of try to like talk myself down sometimes. And when I get all like up in arms about it, I was like, you know what? If I was selling this on Etsy, I would have accepted an offer of whatever amount, like definitely $39. Like I think ideally I would have wanted this to be a smidge higher, but I wasn't going to argue about whatever $3 or $4. So I just accepted the $28 offer. So there we go. And I've also had this for probably a decent amount of time. So look how cute my hair was though. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't achieve that like tight enough curl where it's super short, but it doesn't look like, I don't look like Bozo the Clown in this photo. I don't know why I can't make my hair do that anymore. Anyway, moving on. Next up, these motherfucking strawberry shortcake curtains that, it's the most ridiculous story. I bought these curtains at some point and I bought them because like I knew that they would sell decently. Like I was aware of it. When I found them in the thrift, I looked them up. They sold well. I want to say like a pair of curtains, these curtains goes for like $79 or something like that. So I was like, cool. I bought them. I got them home. I had them sitting around forever. I wrote a draft. They still sat around forever because I didn't want to photograph them. Finally, I worked myself up to take the stupid photos. I mean, I'm talking at least weeks later, okay, after I purchased them. finally go to take the photos, and I realize that it is not a pair of curtains. It is a little mismatch set, because it's like having two left shoes. Like both of the curtains have the ruffle on the same side. So they should be on opposite sides so that the ruffles are on the outside and then the blank spot meets in the middle. That is not what was happening here. So then I was all mad all over again. And I wanted to just donate them. And I said, nope, you have the listing mostly done. You just have to revise it and then take the photos, and you can still make decent money, and yada, yada, yada. And then months go by, and I finally revised the listing, and then more weeks go by. Finally, beating myself up about it all day long, I finally take the stupid photos for these stupid curtains. I get them listed. I was telling my friend about like how ridiculous this entire process was, and I can't believe, like, it was like the only thing I had done that day was list these stupid dumb curtains, and I was just couldn't even be like, oh, thank God I finally listed them, because I was just so mad about the whole thing. And then literally 1 week later they sold for $49, full price, no offer. So moral of the story is list your shit. Okay. Honestly, after all of that, I probably, had I donated them, I don't know, 6 months ago when this all started, maybe I would have been happier. I don't know, but I am very grateful that I finally got myself to do it, and that they sold for full price, making it at least a little bit worth it. Also, this is not the first time that something like this has happened for me. Do I learn the lesson? Maybe a little bit, but clearly not quite enough. And I'm still beating myself up. Anyway, let's move on. Next up on eBay, my good friend panties. We all know that I love selling some vintage panties. These are Y2K kind of vintage. Victoria's Secret. These were listed for $29. I sent out an offer on eBay. I think it was 20% off. And maybe 25, but I think it was 20%. That's kind of what I generally do. So that was $23.20, which the buyer accepted. Buyer paid shipping, so I made $23.20 on these panties. Yay. All right, and then final item on eBay for the week, this really adorable ashtray. I cannot remember where I got this. I mean, I thrifted it. But look how cute it is. Little elephants. And so this was a big thing back in the 50s, if you're not familiar. They had all these little like figurines and apparently ashtrays and stuff, where it would be like a large animal of some sort, and then like a bunch of tiny baby versions of the animal, and then there would be a chain. So the like presumably the mommy animal would have a little collar with the chain on it, and then the chain would attach to all the babies. I actually have a little set of kitties with that, and it's very cute. And anyway, so I found this ashtray with the elephants. The thing that really sucks about this is that all of the elephants had, not all of them, but many of the babies had broken trunks. So like here's a full trunk, but broken. But even with all the little broken trunks, right? I still thought it was so cute. I love the aqua color. And then it's just adorable. Anyway, so I had it listed for $40. And as usual on eBay, that does not include shipping, whereas on Etsy it would. So the buyer sent me an offer. I believe the buyer sent me the offer of $28, and I just accepted it. I was very happy to accept it. And this is such a cute little ashtray, and I wrapped her all up today and got it sent out in the mail. And so that's nice. And I protected it really well. I had to package today like 2 different things that required a lot of packaging, and I haven't had to do that in so long. Clothing is so much easier to ship for me, but you know, this kind of stuff is great too. All right, next up, we're going to move on to Depop, because I've got some sales on Depop. First up is this blouse. See, we've got Miss Jops over here again. Cute little girl, Jopalina. Let's see, this blouse, I mean, it's fine. Oh, this is an old listing because I still had 4 photos and a video. I had it listed for $29. The buyer sent me oh no, I'm sorry. I think I sent out offers, 25% off. And so that means that this was $21.75. And then to make matters worse, obviously it includes shipping for me on Depop. So I pay shipping, which was $4.61. So on this, I would have made $17.14 before fees. But because this listing was so old, I also paid Depop fees on this. So like, I forget, I mean, whatever, I made $14 on this thing, but still, I think I originally bought it for Whatnot, and that would have been selling for $15 before fees on Whatnot. So kind of the same thing. Anyway, next on Depop is this nightgown, this pink, like 40s, 50s era nightgown. You can see I had it listed for $79. Also, you'll notice both of these are listed as being boosted. These are still holdovers from that free boosting promotion that I did on Depop. They were offering like free boosting for a month. Boosting is like promoted listings or paid advertising for Depop. They were in conjunction with Vendu offering free boosting for a month. So I did that thinking if worst case scenario, I'll get some sales. It's not like I'm going to hurt my ability to get sales when I turn it off. And ironically, for the entire month that I had it turned on, I only got one boosted sale. And it happened to be an item that I actually no longer had in stock because I forgot to delete it from Depop. Once I turned it off, I got these two sales, which were both still listed as being boosted, but I didn't have to pay the boosting fee because it was during that promotional period. Anyway, so this mid-century slip, really gorgeous. I had it listed for $79. I don't remember who sent an offer, if it was me or the buyer, but it sold for $59. And that includes shipping, which was $4.69. So I made $54.31. Another interesting note on this was right before I sold this on Depop, I had somebody on Poshmark who was kind of going back and forth with me on this. And I think that the Poshmark person came and bought it on Depop, but I'm not positive. Anyway, and then someone else later on Posh was asking about this and said, oh, I can't find that thing. Did you sell it? And I did. So there's that. Next on Depop was this vest, a little LL Bean striped vest. So it's cute. I had it listed for $49. This is like another thing that, oh, another really old listing too. Another thing that maybe I picked up for Whatnot so long ago though. And I didn't show you the tag because it's in the video and you don't want to watch the video. It's really slow. It's just like a slideshow and it's tedious. But anyway, this was $49. The buyer sent me an offer for $30. I've had this for so long and it's like not really my vibe. So I was happy to accept $30 on it. I paid $6.02 in shipping. So I made $23.98 on this. And also once again, paid a Depop fee. So there we go. One of these days I'll catch up and I will stop having Depop listings where I'm still paying a Depop fee, except by then they'll probably change their fee structure, but whatever. Anyway, so this is the last item that I sold on Depop. This is a more recent listing. This is Ann Crimmins for Umi Collections sweater. I'm going to see if we can find a tag for you. I forgot the tag in here, man. I do that a lot. All right. So this was listed for $49. I sent out an offer for 25% off, so it sold for $36.75. Shipping was $6.02, so I made $30.73 on this. It's a very pretty sweater. I'm impressed that people buy this stuff without the tags. You know, I do my listing through Vendu, which you know, and Depop only allows for 8 photos, but most of the other apps, you know, Etsy is 10, eBay is like 800, Poshmark is 4,000 photos. Like Depop is the most restrictive. And I always sort of in the Vendu form, I structure my photos to fit the Etsy requirement. Just, I like to do like 4, you know, front, back, side kind of photos. And then I do front, back, side, like closer up. So like here you've got like a front view, side, back, side. And then I do a close up of the front, right? And then it's side, back, side. And then I do the tag photo. And then I will do one more photo that's just kind of like a full frontal cute view, right? But on Depop, it only allows you 8. So I have to like go and rearrange the photos to move the tag closer. And I get rid of one of the side view photos. And I forget to do it way too often. Anyway, so I'm still extra grateful that sold, I guess. And that was it for Depop. And then the final item that I sold this week, we've got all 4 of the platforms made it in Poshmark, where I had this little lion rug, really adorable. And I had this originally listed for $59. I haven't had it up that long. I mean, which, you know, 5-6 months, I would say. I don't know if it's actually that long. And I think it's adorable. I listed it high because when I did some comps, I never found this exact rug, but similar pieces were selling for like nice amounts of money, like surprisingly high. It's one of those things that there must have just been something trendy for. Another example of that is like mushroom stuff is really hot right now. So you can get like 70s mushroom stuff and it'll sell for way more than seems reasonable. So this seemed to be kind of in that category. but I had it listed for a while. The buyer sent me an offer of $38 and I accepted it. On Poshmark, that means that I would make $30 after fees. The buyer paid shipping. So that's cool. And that went out today as well. And that's everything that I sold for the week. I find it interesting that, so like that pink nightgown that I talked about, where somebody was asking me about it on Posh, but then they bought it somewhere else. I actually had that happen again today, where somebody was going back and forth with me on Poshmark about an item, and then they ended up making me an offer on eBay. And I actually think that that person would have paid less if they purchased it from me on Poshmark, but it worked out better for me on eBay because the fees on Poshmark are just nuts. Anyway, so I find that interesting. I'm really curious about where are they finding the items on Poshmark and then purposely looking elsewhere, or are they finding the items on like the Gem app or just through Google? Are they finding the item, but they don't want to pay my price, so they try and Google it, and then I'm coming up again on other platforms? Like, I'm curious about how they're starting in one place and finding me somewhere else. It doesn't really matter, I guess, but it's just interesting. Anyway, that's everything that I sold this week. So let's hope that that next week shapes up to be at least as good. I've got all of these guys here. These vintage nylons are going to be ending the auction on Sunday, so those should show up in next week too. So I'm excited about that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.